Lie, babe.
All right, guys. In the words of Mike and Mike in the morning, we are back better than ever. I'm your host, Joshua Ross, and this is live at the podium. Got a special surprise for you guys. I said one got one import. I've got two. Ricky Stevens and Tim Morovick. Guys, how y'all doing today?
Good, man. Good, man. Living life, living the life.
Living the life. Hey, guys, this is championship week. This is wearing all the marbles. Hopefully things go well. I think the season's looking like it's going to. Y'all excited for this weekend?
Very excited.
Very excited. I
Yes,
wouldn't,
sir.
wouldn't expect anything less. So we're gonna start with you, Ricky. I'll start with you. Uh, you can play college ball 8 miles down the road from me, up in Orono, you Maine. How was that? And y'all had some pretty big seasons, especially 2011. What was that experience like playing up there in the cold north?
And it was a great experience, man. It's a different type of bond that you have with your brothers up there.
Mhm.
We used to call it the land of the misfits because it's like all any prospect if you was big coming out of high school, if certain teams didn't want you. It seems like everybody migrated up there. They go
Mhm.
to the University of Maine, but it's definitely a great program up there. We played in a tough CAA conference,
Mhm.
and every day was just a blast up there with those guys.
So viewers won't know that, don't know this, but me and Ricky unwittingly actually kind of partnered together a little bit. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud, but I went to school 8 miles down the road for him in Bangor, the little D3 school. But hey, football's good there too. We Maine was surprising people a little bit. We had some talent up there.
Uh-huh.
So that transition, who got you overseas? What was that? Who got you on the first phone call, the first contact?
To be honest with you, I didn't know much about golf until I think it was my sophomore going into my junior year at the University of Maine when Warren Smith, he was our quarterback at the time. I ended up seeing him come over to Germany. I think he was playing for the Dresden Monarchs. And then we also had a running back, Kushan Brown, that also went overseas and played in Germany as well. And then once I heard about that, I kind of asked those guys how did they get over there, and they kind of like led me to the website, and I just got online there and put a highlight tape up, put some information down, and I started getting hit up by a bunch of teams and decided to sign with the Turku Trojans up in Finland for my
Mm-hmm.
first season in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what he's talking about is another site, but now we got the podium. Obviously, you're here watching, so you know what's going on. But right, podium's your one-stop shop for everything you need to get overseas. Uh, that first season in Turku, what was the hardest part of the transition? And after that, what was the number one experience you had being in Finland?
Hmm. Part of the transition, I would probably say is just adapting to a new culture. Never being outside of the states, never seeing outside of what you've grown up around. It's probably the most difficult part. But again, it wasn't that difficult. At the end of the day, you was just there to play football, and I think football made that transition a bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
The number one experience was like again just creating friendships and bonds with people that that won't ever leave.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a part of the family and playing, like you said, football. Football is a great sport for things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's important and a very important game.
Yeah, and then obviously the next stop was Wroclaw and where you're at now, and the story's told itself. I mean, y'all had obviously a great season before. Now you've got a great season in the making with I'm gonna put the cherry on top of that as well. Uh, so Tim, tell us about your little bit of your college
Yes.
experience, how that went, and then what got you to Europe.
Okay, well, I had a very interesting college experience. Um, I attended six different colleges.
You
Yeah,
got me beat.
I went to
I went to
I went
three.
to I went to Central Connecticut State. That was the first place I went. And then after that, kind of bounced around for a little bit. But it was crazy how things worked out because I attended Southwestern Oklahoma State for about a year and a half. And my boy Jabari was there before I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I heard about the whole Euro players and playing overseas thing was because I saw through social network that, Jabari was playing overseas. and that he had played at my school before. So I contacted him and asked him how he did it and how everything works. And so, yeah, that's how I heard about playing football overseas, was through Jabari.
See, Jabari is, I mean, we talked about him right before the tell guys. Jabari, if you're watching this, if you see this, tell you, man, you never leave our thoughts. I swear, you're everywhere. Can't get rid of you. Get on there. We see all them baby photos, and she's cute and precious. Come on, man. Give us a break. Give us a break, Jabari. We know you're the real Mike Brown and all. Come on. No, and I've got experience with those Swosu guys. I played with Brian Robinson, so I know about you Swosu guys. I know about you Swosu guys.
Yeah,
There's too many of y'all. There's more Swosu guys in Europe than our citizens.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
that first where was the first stop when you got to Europe?
I played for the Albertshausen Crusaders, and it was definitely a different experience than what I have now because it was kind of like in a little village, like not in a big town at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kind of secluded, not a lot to do, you know. But we lived like right above where the football field was, so we could just like walk down there and work out anytime we wanted. Yeah. So I thought that part was pretty cool because really we had nothing to do, so it was like we just went to work out and did football 24/7. So
it's good. Hey, that's every football player's dream, to get away from everything and just have ball. Nothing else. Just ball.
It was cool.
So what got you to Wroclaw?
Well, I played college football with Josh Lazy, who played here last year. And so I had seen a lot and heard a lot about this team. And when the season was over, you know, I kind of like mapped out a list for myself of the top 10 places that I wanted to go based on how their offense works with their quarterback and just how the team is and everything. And this was number 2. You know, this was the place I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I had talked with Coach Johansson like all the way back in like October, and so I knew I was coming here really early. Yeah.
And that, to be honest, talking to any import, that's always makes things so much easier because then you can plan your off season and you can prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally for that transition, and it's just so much easier. So that means usually when you get here and with that kind of length, you can hit the ground running. There's no slow up, there's no nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah. So Rickey, this season, there's some guys in Poland that say y'all are just running through the league, and he may even have a little issue with it. But what's been your experience of how this team has come together and the kind of dominance you have had in this league? Because I mean, obviously the score shows some dominance. So what is that team feeling been going through that part of the season?
I mean, honestly, man, these guys work as hard as I've seen, man. Like I said, I've been, you know, playing ball in the States and things like that, but just coming over here, the way that these guys are coached, the way they take coaching, the hard work they put into the gym all season, you know, even on our off days, you know, you got guys going out, you know, just trying to throw routes on there and just trying to get better each and every day, watching film on huddle and everything. The time, the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears that goes into each practice, everything that these guys do. I mean, you can see we kind of reaping the rewards of that. These guys work extremely hard, and it shows.
Now, Tim, would you say that the Wroclaw Outlaws have created – not Outlaws, I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. Wroclaw Panthers, I'm sorry. Would you say the Wroclaw Panthers have truly created a professional organization?
Absolutely. From the top to the bottom, everything is done professionally. Everything's handled professionally. There's a person to handle every situation. Yeah, it's a professional organization at its finest.
Now, for that mistake I made, I'm going to blame Rickey because beforehand we had kind of a little conversation about the background of the Panthers, and he's the one that brought the Outlaws up. I didn't say anything about them, but he's the one that brought them up, and that's why.
We can blame Rick. That's cool.
Well, I say that because your buddy Mariusz, I'll show you on screen. He's already calling you out. He's not.
Hey, chill, Chef. We're gonna be there in a minute. Just hold on, bro.
Now, how that professionalism, do you believe that can translate into becoming a top five team in Europe? Not just the best team in Poland, not just the best team in your region of Europe, but truly become one of those top teams that can even compete against, say, New Yorker Lions or Schwanhall Unicorns, or even another chance at Swarco.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the people that are, the head of this team, like the president and all the board members, I think they want to play those teams more than like the players do. They seem to want to get our name out there and want to put us on an international stage. So yeah, it's very motivating to have that from, people that don't even play the game and they're excited about the opportunity to have.
Now I'll go to Rickey first on this, but what would you think about maybe even having a continental league? Say you pull teams, maybe maybe like a Champions League, pull the champion from Spain, and then you pull a team from Sweden and Norway, pull a couple teams from Finland, and then obviously Wroclaw, Swarco, and then a couple of German teams to make one big continental league. What do you think the performance of that would be?
I think that'd be great, man. I think it'd be great for the sport as well. As we know, the sport is still continuing to grow over here in Europe. And if you were to put the best teams all in a format to where we all have to compete against each other and face each other, maybe get some national airtime anywhere, any country, I think it'd help grow the sport even more. It'd be nothing but beneficial.
And do you think they should follow some of the import rules, or should they just go ahead and come up with something new and on their own, maybe even similar to what CFL has, where you have to take so many of your homeland guys, but you open up yourself to more imports than what is currently being allowed?
I think import rules vary. Like you said, they vary from country to country.
Yeah.
I think, me personally, I think the more imports, the better. It helps grow and develop the sport. But I mean, like, same time, you do have to have those national players getting their time in and things of that nature. So I think, to be honest with you, I think the Finnish rules are pretty good, where you have 3 on the roster, 2 on the field at the time. I think that doesn't take too much away from the national players, but at the same time, you still have people who have a historic background in the game still being able to come over and help the national team players out with knowledge of the game and things that they picked up and learned in the past. So I think 3 and 2 will be a good import rule for any of that.
And I'll give this next question to Tim. Obviously, most of us know that the new import rules in Poland were for top league, you get 2 imports, 1 on the field. How is, at least I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, that's it.
Okay. The biggest proponent of this was to develop the national team athletes, and that truly pertains to the quarterback position. Do you think that this rule actually helped enhance the quarterback play, or the lack of quarterback import, or even just total number of imports, hurt the development of some of those native quarterbacks?
I don't know. Me personally, I feel like to develop the national players, if they played against more American players, I feel like that would force them to get better. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It definitely has forced some teams to get the Polish players better in certain positions that before they might have had import or positions. But yeah, like I said, I feel like the more Americans, the better, because then those players are forced to step up their game to play against imports, and it forces them to become better.
Okay. So just do you see, after these World Games coming up, do you see a change again in the import rules in Poland, or do you think this is going to be what it is going to be going through the upcoming future?
I don't know, because the tough thing with that too is, like, every country has their different import rules, but then when you go play internationally, the import rules also change again. When you play teams internationally, and a lot of it is going to one import on a field when you're playing internationally. And so I feel like that's also why the Polish league did it, was because you're essentially preparing yourself for your Polish league and to play in the international games. So yeah, that's tough. I don't know if the rules will change. I hope they do. I hope they change. I hope they go back to at least 3 on the roster, 2 on the field.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay. Now getting back into the Polish football, I have experience obviously playing in Poland. I was at lower level, but being down there, I really got to see the grassroots of American football in Poland. And there's some great things like in Wroclaw, or not Wroclaw, in Rzeszów, I got 10, 12, 15, 16-year-old kids that are wanting to play on our senior team, but obviously they can't. But you just see them light up in their face, and then they're bringing friends. And now you got that program starting to build up and going. Using the top league as an example, what needs to be done to truly keep this country and the growth momentum going? I know we talk about the import rule, but what else can be done to keep it rolling and not just have Wroclaw Panthers dominating, as some say?
That's your question.
I don't know, Ricky. That's yours. I'm giving that one to you, Ricky. That's you, Ricky.
Hey, you got it. Hey, come on, man. All right.
He just answered the import rule question. Come on, he needs a break.
Yeah, I had a tough one. You get a tough one.
He just copied what I said, but I would say to keep growing the sport, man. Just the more recognition, the better. So I mean, what we have to do. I feel like organization is not just the Wroclaw Panthers, but throughout the whole country of Europe, or of Poland. I mean, I'm sorry. Probably just more marketing and things like that, more exposure. Just going out handing out flyers, hold more tryouts. Try to get everybody in the country more understanding of the game of football.
Yeah.
I think once Poland really understand the game of football, I think it will grow. Because to me, obviously, it's the best sport in the world.
Mm.
You can't beat it. So I think the more people understand it, which is another reason why I feel like it may not be where it should be right now, because people don't really understand the rules of it or things like that. So they just kind of turn away from it sometimes. But I think if we give them an understanding of what the game is and how it's played, I think from there it'll take off even more than it already has. I think Poland is one of the premier countries to where the sport is growing at such a fast rate, and I think it's going in a positive direction. But just keep putting the sport out there and to people who may not know what it's about, and I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah. The country of Poland now holds a special place in my heart, and with that, I think the sport of American football fits the culture perfectly. I mean, you can have soccer, you can have all that, but I don't think anything fits Polish culture like American football does. It goes hand in hand. Except the Speedway. They love their Speedway. I don't know where that comes from, but they love their Speedway.
Yeah, that's a fact too.
Like I was telling Ricky beforehand, down in Rzeszów, they built a brand new Speedway stadium. It's like 20,000 seats, and it's filled. I mean, it's crazy for the Speedway rate. Like, you got standing room only. You got people lined up around the outside trying to look through the crevices of the gates, trying to catch a little bit. My physio's got. Go ahead.
We went to one of them. We went to go watch one of them.
For our first time ever.
They weren't in season when I was in Rzeszów, but the stories I heard of how awesome it is and how dangerous, and the videos they showed me, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Let's get to the big game. Let's get to the big game this weekend. Gdynia Seahawks versus the Wroclaw Panthers for the final again. Tell me, how many years running is this final between the Seahawks and Panthers?
Between these two particular teams, I think it's 3.
3?
Yeah, ever since the Panthers came and combined their teams together, and I think it's been 3 years, yeah.
So basically what you're telling me is the Gdynia Seahawks forced these two teams to come together. If it wasn't for the Seahawks, we'd still have Wroclaw Giants and Wroclaw Devils. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that.
I won't throw you in the bus like that. I won't do that to you. But it has turned into a good rivalry, especially with some of the names. Like you had Michael Brown. You've had some of the other Wroclaw imports come through. It's turned into a great rivalry for the sport. And do you think this year's version is going to turn out to be the same kind of game, or are we looking to see as it has been throughout the season?
Yeah, there's definitely some bad blood there. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. I love it. I don't want to just go ahead. If I can make this a 3-screen and grab one of the imports from Gdynia, that'd be fun. I'd have fun with that. So, what is the probably the number one thing you have to prepare for Gdynia to ensure victory?
I think the number one thing that we need to do is worry about ourselves and play our game, and not go into the game overly confident, and just play our game. Just play our game. If we play our game, I feel like we can beat anybody.
Yeah.
So we just play our game and not think about it or anything. It's just another game to where we got to go out and do what we do.
Yeah. Rickey, what's the feeling in the locker room going into this game? Is there a kind of a business as usual feeling, or is there still that sense of excitement, a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of antsiness?
I think always going into a championship game, there's going to be a little bit of butterflies or antsiness. I mean, I think that's natural. Obviously, it is a big game, but I think our coaches do a great job of just keeping the game plan as normal, as if it's another game. Like we go into practices doing the same thing, watch film the same way, come up with the game plan the same way. Doing a great job of just keeping us level-headed and letting us understand that we just have to take care of what we have to take care of, and everything else will fall into place.
Okay. Now, what would be something you fear from Seahawks? Is there something that you know that, obviously I don't want to make you give up too much going through game plan, but is there something y'all actually are concerned about with Gdynia, something that you know that they're really good at and it can be dangerous against y'all?
I mean, the only thing we can say is that from the first time we played them to now, they have a new quarterback, and so their offense is different. So I guess that's really the only thing I can say is that we haven't seen this quarterback yet. We haven't seen this offense yet. And so, I mean, that if I had to pick a main concern, that would be the main concern for us.
Okay. So a level of uncertainty what's coming to this game. Okay. Now, what is the expected turnout, like the environment you're supposed to be playing in? Are we expecting even more growth from the fans coming into this game and make it an even more live environment than it has been? Or something different?
I think it'll be a little liver. I think, again, it'll be more fans than I feel like last year. I know when we were here 2 years ago in Wroclaw playing, I think they said it was somewhere close to 14,000 in the stands. And I think last year it dropped a little bit because we were all the way out in the outstock. And that's a little bit further away from like some of the bigger cities like Warsaw and, in places like that. But I think Rouge I think that's how you say it. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, but I think Rouge is a pretty good destination. It's not too far from anybody or anything, so I feel like it'd be a bigger crowd to gather around there that wants to see some good football.
Yeah, and I know that drive up from even just from Warsaw to Białystok is brutal. All that construction, it's literally construction the entire way except for like 2 towns.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys and fans, while we go through this little bit here, if you have a question, go ahead and hit us up in the Q&A. We'll post it up there and let the guys answer it. Camille, I'm not putting yours up there. Not too bad, but it still is family friendly program. So I can't ask him to do that.
Oh man.
So if you have any questions, guys, just let us know. But for you guys, last week with Nicholas, we came up with plans for a kangaroo fight club in Australia.
What?
Yeah, we came up with a plan for kangaroo fight club. Now, we're not gonna actually ask those same kind of questions, but that's where these questions lead, and that's where it's greatness. It's greatness. When you come up with a kangaroo fight club, there's nothing better. Now, I'm going Dan Lebitard on you, just like I did him. Give me the most romantic story, Tim, of what you've got during your time in Wroclaw.
What?
Come on, give me something. Lebitard would be upset with me if I didn't pull something out. You got to give me something.
My most romantic story from Wroclaw.
Keep it PG-13. We're live and in color, but keep it PG-13.
What? I don't have a romantic story. It's football 24/7. I'm focused.
Come on. Come on. You can do better than that. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
This is tough.
All right. Let me come up with something for Ricky because I know Ricky will come through for me. There's nothing crazier he's done in Poland than he did in Orono. That place is crazy, so I understand. Ricky, if you could choose one really crazy thing, and remember PG-13, so PG-13, what would you do in this world to really get your adrenaline going like it does for football?
Dang. Hey, that's a tough question. I mean, football is a feeling that I feel like you cannot duplicate. I don't know what it is about, just playing the game itself, but man, son, I don't know, B. What can I duplicate football with? Maybe basketball. Maybe I'll start playing more basketball or something somewhere. I don't know. I like basketball too.
Man, come on. Nicholas and I came up with Kangaroo Fight Club for that question. I gave you the same question to Nicholas. You're just going to go play basketball? Right there? We're going to have Kangaroo. We're going to Australia. A buddy of mine that played with me at Hudson that's from Australia turned around and went and played Illinois State. Re-Saturn. I'm talking about you again. He's going to take us all to Australia, and we're going to have Kangaroo Fight Club out in the Outback. Come on.
So that's gonna duplicate the football feeling?
Yeah, come on. Have you not seen the video of the guy going and punch the kangaroo in the face?
I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see where you're going with this.
So how about this? We go play a football game like Tom Brady wants to do on the Great Wall of China, except we had kangaroos or something. I don't know. You left me with that. You left me to my own devices, and it's just going crazy stuff.
I appreciate you helping us with that, man. That was a tough question.
Well, we had to go there because Tim couldn't answer the question I had for him.
Yeah, see, no.
He said, see, no.
Well, guys, none of our fans have any questions. They've just got a lot of Tim and Ricky, great team from Darius. You got Tim and Ricky Shake It from Wroclaw. I don't know. Let's see if you know this guy. Shake It.
Shake it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, shake it.
So, well, at that, since Tim can't tell us about his romantic life, we'll call it a day right there. So, Ricky, Tim, thanks for joining us, man. This was a great interview. We're all excited to see this game coming up, the championship game for Poland against Gdynia. A lot of people already have their expectations of what's going to happen, but I want to see a great game. It's not necessarily I want to see y'all lose, because I don't, but I want to see a great game. I do. Poland deserves it. Like I said, I love the country. Like I know y'all do. I love the league. And I want it to keep growing because there's some good guys in it. So good game would help that. Fans out there, I know I'll have it up there, but I'm going to make sure Ricky and Tim get the live feed stream link to me. If they don't, then I expect Gdynia to win by 40. Sorry, guys.
All right, man. Sounds good. Appreciate you.
So, guys, thanks for being with us. Good luck this weekend, and I look forward to hearing from y'all again sometime in the near future.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.
See ya.